Howdy everybody, this is Nomix here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 cast. This is a 1v1 on Abyssal Caverns, and spawning in our top left-hand corner is the blue Terran, SadFrog. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner is our red Protoss, Neiko. They are spawning cross positions, and with a rust distance like this, chances are we won't see a lot of early aggression. So probably a pretty boring standard kind of opener unless one of these players decides to be a little sneaky. Abyssal Caverns is a map that I'm not particularly fond of as a Zerg player, mainly because of this spot right here. Your third expansion is so difficult to hold on to. You have attack points here where you can drop things onto the low ground without destroying the rocks. You can destroy the rocks and come down the ramp, or you can come over here from the grass and hide your units in here before coming into attack, or you can put things on the high ground here and completely nuke and devastate everything on the low ground, or you can just kind of swing in over here, and if this attack isn't going so well, then you can come up here and harass the main expansion and come back down and harass the third some more. Just not a great place to be for Zerg. We see pretty standard build from our Terrans so far, barracks going down. We see Neiko's getting his gateway down as well. Chrono boosting out some more probes, because man, those probes are so darn tasty. See an early gas from our Terran as well as the first barracks going down. I'm going to go ahead and guess maybe 111? 111 would be an interesting build on this map. If you get Banshees over here, I would imagine that be some serious sad times for our Protoss player. Actually, Banshee RS might not be that effective because of the distance between these three and the positioning of these three mineral patches in the bases. Neiko definitely getting his scout on. He is going to see everything that's going on over here, which is excellent because this Terran is doing something a little less standard, it looks like. See our orbital coming down, and there's the tech lab. So Neiko definitely knows that he's going to be seeing some marauders. Depends on when the second barracks goes down, or if a second barracks goes down. So let's keep watching what the Terran's up to. Neiko moving his probe over here. He knows he's been spotted. With this wall off complete, he's pretty much lost this probe, so he's going to continue running this probe around and try to get as much scouting information as possible before losing that unit. If he is lucky, he might catch the Terran off guard when one of these are lowered, but I don't think it'll happen. We see another barracks going down for our Terran player, which will continue to improve his ability to make more units. Protoss isn't doing too much right now. We see Warp Gate starting. He's chrono boosting out that Stalker. On this map, chrono boosting the Stalker, if you know that your opponent's not going to do that much in the early game, I would have spent that on probes myself. You see, he's definitely going for slow on those Marauders. Some early tech play, which is going to be interesting. I'm willing to bet that if he's going to invest in this tech, we're going to see an MMM push, actually. What is this? We've got 2 engineering bays. With 2 gas on 1 base this early on in the game with your economy not that well developed, I feel like dropping 2 engineering bays is kind of a waste. I mean, yes, you can get bolt upgrades faster, but at the expense of building more, or building less of an army. See a second tech lab going down, which is interesting. We may see more barracks if this does indeed turn out to be MMM. Neiko getting a forge down. He may be considering expanding, seeing a second gas, so maybe upgrades instead. Yeah, Neiko chrono boosting that forge and not really doing anything with it, so may have been a misclick. He was probably trying to chrono boost out some probes. That had to suck. Not doing too much. Neiko not really expressing that much dominance in the map right now because he doesn't really have to. He's got a probe out here. He sees quite a bit of the map already. I would feel safer if he'd gotten the second Zell Naga, but he does know that his Terran opponent isn't doing much that early on. He did see the tech lab, so he does know that Marauders are a definite possibility, so he'll probably build a robo to help defend that, but in the meantime he's picking up ground armor 1. Our Terran player seems to be upgrade happy right now. We see armor 1 in progress, stim, combat shield, and weapons 1. He may be trying to catch his opponent off guard with one big push of an upgraded army, which could be devastating, but since Neiko's already started on that 1 upgrade to armor, those upgrades may not be as effective. I'm talking the weapon and armor upgrades as effective as he had hoped. The stim and combat shield, however, will be devastating if he ever ends up getting more Marines, which it doesn't look like he seems particularly interested in doing. There are 2 more barracks coming down, though, so that'll probably improve his production capacity. Ooh, that poor Stalker gets smacked by that slow. Man, if I was that Stalker, I would have looked at that and went, no. Just like that. Neiko starting his robo facility, which will give him some meat to help deal with this extra marauder that the Terran seems intent on building. We see the factory going down. So we may see tanks following up this force. I'm surprised that we don't see a starport just yet. An armory, so definitely building some tanks. What else we got going on here in the Protoss side of the world? Finishing up that 1 upgrade to armor, we've got 2 warp gates, 3 warp gates in fact, and his robo. He might want to expand soon. He's moving this probe, so it does look like Neiko's going to expand. He's supply blocked right now. If he's going to expand, it's definitely a good time to do it because he is oversaturating his main. If you look at your workers and you watch them kind of run around between mineral lines, like, let's see if we can catch one of these guys, like this guy right here, or this guy, where they'll hunt between mineral patches because they're already being mined from. That's lost mining time. That means that your workers aren't being efficient, and that's not a good thing to have because you could be definitely using those resources elsewhere more effectively. See our Terran player gathering up quite a sizable force here. It looks like he may be ready to push soon. He definitely doesn't look like he wants to expand anytime soon. The starport going down, this is definitely going to be producing some medevacs very soon, I would imagine. See another Marine wandering out here. See a 3rd tech lab. I don't necessarily agree with that. I would have probably built a reactor because what you're looking at is an army that's very 1-unit heavy. And while this is a very strong army, don't get me wrong, Marauders are impressively strong. When you look at this unit composition right here, you see a lot of sentries, and with that scan, that should have told the Terran immediately that, oh crap, man, he's ready for me. These sentries, they're going to force field this off, they're going to force field to split my army, and without any medevac support, my army's just going to melt. Neiko's got an observer up here to kind of poke around, but our Terran player seems dead set on pushing out. He's going to move out to the middle and probably all the way up to Neiko's base. If I were SadFrog, I would have probably sacrificed, well not sacrificed, but moved 2 units to take these Xel'Naga towers just to get some more insight into what's going on and hold on to them. Stimming way too early. You see Neiko way too quick for him. 3 force fields completely blocks this whole army. Man, they are just all kinds of yellow. I hope he doesn't stim those again without some kind of support. I would have pulled these back by now because this is just going to be devastating. I don't think that SadFrog's going to get much out of this if he continues to try and push. Neiko not force fielding quite fast enough that time, losing 2 sentries. That's going to be devastating because that is a lot of gas. However, this Immortal is just doing work, chopping up those Marauders like there's no tomorrow. And those Zealots, man, once they get this round on a Marauder, that Marauder is dead. D-E-A-D, dead. See Neiko getting charged now. Definitely dropped at Twilight a little bit earlier. Another Immortal coming out. That's definitely going to beef up his army. He's looking pretty darn strong, and with the map control that he owns right now, Neiko has all of the information he needs to make his next couple of moves safely. Our Terran player, on the other hand, has got to be feeling a little bit afraid. He just lost his entire army. He doesn't really have much, and he knows that he doesn't cause that much damage to Neiko. He didn't kill enough units to be effective. That was not a good trade, and he knows it, so he's being a little reserved. He's keeping his units here, which I kind of disagree with, honestly. If you ever get pushed back like you just did with this here, I would have pulled back to the middle of the map and tried to maintain map control in the center to help me gauge my opponent's pushes a little bit better. You see Neiko getting ready to push out. He's definitely moving forward. We see a warp prism in progress. Drop shenanigans. The best kind. Our Terran player is building up a bigger army, but not producing enough medevacs to support this bio. SadFrog, what are you doing? Oh, this is what he's doing. He's building a lot of barracks. If Neiko doesn't catch this with his observer, this could catch him off guard, especially with his observer just kind of chilling out in the expansion. However, the flow of units would be, telling enough if he's really, really watching that observer closely. See, this is a very unprotected push. SadFrog is forcing himself to commit to this. The force fields, it wouldn't really have mattered. He wouldn't have retreated anyway. It looks like SadFrog's just 1A his force and using every single one of them. A little bit of micro would have been huge for SadFrog in this engagement, but unfortunately Neiko just proving to be way too strong in that he completely trashed what was left of SadFrog's army. He's going to walk up into the expansion and really kind of assert here, draw a lot of attention, and try to keep SadFrog busy. The reason why is that there's this little red dot on the minimap moving over full of, yes, it is zealots indeed. So we're going to see this warp prism probably deploy here, get ready to reinforce, while these zealots come in here and completely wreck house and eat all of SadFrog's workers. Meanwhile, his expansion is just in some serious trouble. His medevacs not providing enough support to support this bio. There's a lot of Marauders, he's got a lot of damage output, but he's just not using it effectively enough. Meanwhile, his main is getting gutted completely by all of these zealots. This is a great tactic and play by Neiko, in that he attacked both points at the same time, split his opponent's attention, and ended up completely wrecking house. This is still dangerous though. That stutter step's so gosu, but in confined spaces like this, it's just not good enough. He should have hot picked up all of those Marauders, but instead he's going to let all of them die. It looks like SadFrog may have given up, and I don't really blame him, because if we look at the workers kill, yep, that tells the entire story. Neiko getting Dark Shrine and Blink, excellent tech opportunity, and he's expanding at the same time. There's the GG. Looks like that's going to be it. Good game. SadFrog could have done a little bit more to save himself. He probably shouldn't have committed so early, and this build is definitely a little weird. He's got 4 tech labs, so he was definitely playing towards the end of this game, looking to the late game, and wasn't able to meet the mid game. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.